Hi, and welcome back to the Digital Job Site for part 2 of the fencing lessons series of 3 videos showing how to create a drawing and help represent design ideas for a fence. So in the first part we created this post component you see here, and then in this video I'm going to draw the pickets that make up the fence. So I think we'll go 42 inches by 5.5. Actually 5.5 is 42. Will give us a picket. We'll select that and select that rectangle and make a pointed picket component out of it, which is simple enough to do. And then by double clicking we get into the edit mode. Actually I want to move this component first. So I got it over here in a clear space to work with. That'll be a good position. Now we double click, get into this component, and do a little sculpting on it. And I'm going to sculpt it in a flat plane rather than push-pull it into its thickness. I'm just going to draw it in the flat plane and then give it thickness afterwards. So a little simpler to do. By taking the arc tool and hovering over that top line, I can get to the midpoint. And I'm just going to draw a little arc here. I don't like that one. We'll try again. Draw a little point here. I don't like that one either. I'm going to go over a tangent to the side, which is what I did before. You can see how the line changes color when it's tangent to something. Now I'm going to draw a second arc to represent the little notch in the side. As I drag my arc tool up this vertical line, it's showing a little red square. And then all of a sudden it turns to a green circle. That way I know I'm at the end of the straight line and the beginning of the curved line, which is where I wanted to be for this. And I'm going to draw a little arc here. That gives us half of the profile of that. And keep things simple. I'm just going to copy this and then paste it. And I don't want to paste it onto this active geometry, because then if it sticks on there it'll start doing wacky things. So I don't want to do that. I'm going to consciously paste it off in space so that it's not touching any of that active plane. Then we'll grab the scale tool to make a mirror image of it. I can just drag this side to side, and if you watch your value control box in the lower right hand corner, it'll click into -1, which gives me an exact reverse image of the profile I used on the other side of the post. I can just switch to the move tool and then place this on this post, which is simple enough to do. A little word of caution here: if you put this on here and you don't get it quite right and then go to move it, see it's stuck to that post and it starts moving around. So if you can move it accurately, you can grab the very end point of this and click it to the very end point of the other piece. If it's difficult to do, if it's difficult to position it, you can take an intermediate step. While this thing is selected and highlighted, you can make it a group. Then you can move it anywhere you want and it won't stick or move the other geometry. You can get it all put into place exactly where you want it and then explode the group. It just depends on what steps work better for you in a particular instance. But you do have to explode it to get the geometry to behave. Anyways, with all that, there's a fence picket that could be made out of a 1x6, and we'll just give it some depth here, and that gives us a picket to go with our post. There's a number of ways of doing this next step of replicating the picket. I'll cover those in the third part of this little video series on drawing this fence.